Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and here are my February favourites. So before I start, I just got this in the mail today. It is my lovely t-shirt from Minnie. So it says, "Make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours." I got the black one. You can get red or white. And if you go on her channel, which I'll put below, there's links there to take you to the website. So I just wanted to support her. It's a really nice design. I love a black tee with a bit of white writing on it. I love fleur-de-lis, so it's all good. Right, so we're going to start with handbags and accessories, and then the rest is kind of beauty. So let's go. We're going to start with this just to get it out of the way because you're sick of me mentioning it, but it's a funny story. Actually, genuinely, it's got the felt in it. This is my reissue 226. I had a real wobble when it comes to this bag. I loved it. I wanted it for over a year. I finally got it and it was beautiful to look at. But when I used it, I found some foibles. So I found the lock a bit fiddly. I found that because it's so soft, if all my items were not evenly spread out, I'd get one bit that looked a bit squishy and the rest would look like more, you know, puffy or whatever. And sorry, there's a text appeared on my screen and it threw me off. So I don't know what it was, guys. I really can't really analyze it, but I had a panic that somehow this wasn't worth the money like my other ones, and I felt guilty that I had two classic flaps in this, and I just kind of panicked and thought, oh, just get rid of it. That's what my kind of gut reaction was. And I was going to sell it, and then I didn't sell it because when I actually got a really good offer after lots of people that kind of messed me about a bit, I got lots of people tried to sort of emotionally manipulate me into thinking it wasn't worth much or guilt tripping me. I got so many troll type comments. The whole thing was a bit of an ordeal. So when this lady who lived in the UK offered me a really good price, nearly what I paid for it, because she couldn't get to a Chanel store, etc., I really then had a kind of, oh, let me think about it for a day. And I decided not to. And I'm so happy. I wore this to London on Monday all day. I thought, let's really road test this. It doesn't really, it's not the greatest on me crossbody. It's a little bit short, but I thought I'll mix it up. I'll wear it maybe sometimes on the long strap, or if that's getting annoying, I'll double it up. And I wore it all day. As I said, I get the train. I leave here at like 7:30 in the morning. I didn't get in till 9 at night. And I absolutely loved it. And I've completely got over my little weird obsessions were like the denting on the top. It's very packed now with a cushion, so it's not doing it. The fact that, you know, it's not completely symmetrical or whatever. And I really get it now, what the pleasure of this bag is to use. It's so light and comfortable to carry for a long period of time, as opposed to sometimes the jumbo has its issues. The medium large doesn't hold much. This is a great compromise, and I always loved the features of the reissue, like the chain and everything. And now I just feel like that episode just made me actually get really attached to the bag, so it was all worth it in the end. I'm sorry if people inquired and then I ended up not selling the bag to you, but the way people got so personal about it when I changed my mind, it was kind of weird. But anyway, I am back in love with my reissue 226, and it's staying, and it's also a very fitting kind of like tribute. When I use this, I think about Karl Lagerfeld and what he contributed to Chanel and how he's basically kept that brand so iconic through his designs, his actions, whatever. And I love it. Anyway, the next bag, and this is my second kind of, well, this is, let's not go there. I'm not going to start ranking bags because I always change my mind, but I would say this overall, since around September, October, which is when I tend to reach for things that are this colour, I am literally so back in love with Mulberry via this bag. This is the mini zipped Bayswater. So instead of a flap, it just has this decorative belt and it opens with a zip there. It has a long strap that is really great crossbody. This is very similar. It looks big when I'm doing that. This is very similar in size to the Celine Nano. It's a tiny bit bigger, and I believe that although the Nano maybe is a more Celine's a more luxurious house in terms of the leather and stuff, I feel that this wins for me. When I was looking at that bag and ended up buying this, it's half the price. It's lighter, and the straps are more adjustable. You can go from shoulder to crossbody and stuff like that. So for me, this is great. It's also got amazing capacity. It holds so much, and you can carry it like a little handbag, or I can, and it doesn't look so miniature that it looks out of proportion on me. The next size up, which is actually called the small, is kind of like the size of a Speedy 30 or a little bit bigger. So that's more of a medium kind of standard size tote to me. It's about the same size as the GST. And I don't do an office job or need that kind of structured tote look in a worky way, so I much prefer this size. And I like this bag so much that I am going to buy another colour, because I don't wear burgundy items really in terms of clothing or accessories from like March on. I just gravitate to springier colours, and I really genuinely miss this bag. That's why I bought Speedy 25 in the mono, because I don't really wear Damier Bean in the summer, and I put my Speedy 30 away and just miss having a Speedy. So I like to have a version of a bag that I truly love, like that I can wear all year round. So, and I'm not saying you can't with those other ones, but for me, I just fancy using different things in different seasons. So I really love this. It's so comfortable, it's well made, it's really light compared to the old interpretation of the Bayswaters. And I know that I've been critical of Mulberry, and I know that this bag in particular, there's nothing wrong with the great glazing or stitching, but I felt like in some places, this one, the dyeing of the leather was not very deep or very rich, but I've completely fixed that by using leather care products to really nourish the leather, and now it is perfection. So I highly recommend this bag. It's a great price point. It's about £800, I think, here in the UK, and it's my favourite. I love it. So that's the bags. SLGs, more Mulberry. So for probably about a year, I've been enjoying, this is my favourite kind of like wallety thing. A little zip around half size kind of wallet, like a Louis Vuitton zippy coin purse or a Chanel coin zip, whatever they call their things. But this version's great. It's again Mulberry. It's not the same colour. This is their perennial colour that they have lots of things in all the time, along with black and then oak, which is like their chestnut kind of colour. This is called burgundy, and the leather is slightly different. It's a finer, softer grain leather. This is a very robust leather, almost like a pebbled kind of caviar-y leather, but it still looks more attractive than Saffiano. It's more of a luxurious looking grain. This is a finer grained leather and is more buttery to the touch. This is their small zip around purse, I think it's called. And I have it in the colour burgundy to go in my classic flaps because of the burgundy and the Chanels, and to go with that one. And this, out of every SLG I've got, even a couple of Chanels that were over £300, this is the best zip that I've got. Very soft. This one is it's all leather lined, and it's in navy leather. And it's got loads of slots and really well laid out slots. And I love that so much. And again, as I just said, I don't really want to use that colour in the summer. I've had real run of bad luck with pink SLGs. You may know I bought the boy zip around thing like this from Chanel a couple of years ago, and the caviar within the first week was chipping and there were white areas on it. And I was like, no, that went back. Chanel were terrible about that. That really put me off for a while. And then recently I bought a Gucci really brilliant layout, like a card holder, but it's more of a small wallet. Minx for All had it in pink, Minnie had it, and Luxe Purse Love has it in a beautiful red. It's just lovely, and I got it in the hot pink, and the corners were all dark and rubbed. I got it from Farfetch. I sent it back and I couldn't find it anywhere else, so I went for this, which was actually an eBay find. And in fact, under this lights, it is coming off as it truly is. It's a neon bubblegum pink, really fun for summer. So it's not that classic hot pink. And the same, this one is just all pink. It's got my stuff in it, all pink on the inside. So I love a bright SLG. I just felt like using it because it was new, brand new with tags on eBay, good seller with 100% feedback. And when I looked at the packaging and the tag and everything, it was exactly the same as this one. So I'm sure that it is the genuine article. And I don't hardly ever, that's a double negative. I hardly ever buy repeats of the same thing. I have 2 Neverfulls and 2 Speedies, but in a couple of things like 2 Clays from Louis Vuitton. But on the whole, with my bags, where I used to have maybe 3, I had 3 Neverfulls at one point and 3 Speedies. I tend to now shy away from getting the same thing in different colours because it doesn't feel like that exciting or a treat. So if something, I love it that much that I want another one in another colour, you know it's good. So I really recommend these. They're $175 in the UK, or I think they're around $280 or $300 in America. So functional and just really well made. The glazing and everything's really good, and it's better made than let me not get started on the whole Louis Vuitton and Chanel quality thing at the moment. This is my other favourite SLG right now. It is the little pouch, the O case, but this is the smallest one. I have another one that is like a clutch size. This one is very similar to the classic version, but it's got a smaller grain. I believe that, oh, I mean, I would love to have that. They do a rectangular mini, or they did one season a couple of years ago, do a rectangular mini with this light gold hardware and this smaller grain caviar, which is very soft compared to the normal caviar. It has the little CC here, which I don't think they used to have. Black zipper pull instead of burgundy, which makes it more year round for me. And the inside of mine is just black rather than the burgundy. And I use this, I love things that are multifunctional, and I use this sometimes to put some personal items like lip balm, hair ties and stuff in it. Sometimes I use it as a wallet. You know, it works as lots of different things, which means that I get the kind of cost per wear out of it, and I don't mind the price that I paid for it. Love that. One more thing before we do beauty, and that is one jewellery item. I really haven't been making an effort to switch my jewellery or wear much jewellery lately. Do that more in the summer, I think, and in the winter I just wear really tiny things and simple things, and then I leave them on for days and days without really changing them. My husband got me this for Valentine's. It is the larger of the kind of enamel Tiffany blue hearts. So it's enamel on one side and the Returns Tiffany on the other side. Mine is on a 20 or 18-inch chain, and I know that it, you know, for Valentine's is still a bit wintry, but we're getting into spring, and I just adore this colour. I wanted an SLG in this colour, and I just haven't found one that I truly love. There's one in Tiffany. I went to Tiffany on Monday with my friends. I looked at the porcelain set of 2 cups. I nearly bought them, but they were just kind of closing and we were in a rush. And because I hadn't bought the things that I wanted that were my wish list things, I was a bit, so I was going to buy something, and then I thought, no, don't do that. Don't buy something for the sake of it. Anyway, and I wanted to get an SLG in this colour, either from Chanel or Tiffany, but actually I just don't love any of the ones that I've tried on, so instead I'm just going to stick with my lovely little blue heart that my husband got me. He had to ring loads of Tiffany's to get this, bless him, and that's really kind of him, and I love it. Okay, on to fragrance. Last month in my favourites, I had a fragrance from Jo Malone, which is kind of funny that I've got another one, because I've kind of bashed that brand over the years and said that, and I still stick by that. A lot of their eau de toilettes, is this eau de toilette or eau de parfum? Doesn't even say. Just don't last on me. What is a cologne? They don't last on me, and then I have to take the little glass thing out. I wish they made like a little travel-y thing, and then it would mean that you could just top up over the day, but I love this one enough, and this has a bit more holding power. This is, I think, quite new. It's honeysuckle and Divana, and it's a very warm, cozy, floral. I'm shit at explaining perfumes, excuse my language, but I just know when I smell something. I sprayed it on a card and put the card in my back pocket of my reissue. And over that week, I was just obsessed. It really lingered around and I really liked it. So I decided to get it. I'd recently got the Wild Bluebell, and they actually work quite nicely together. They recommend that this goes very nicely with the Peony and Blush Suede. I tried that combination because I have a tester of the Peony and Blush Suede. It was too full on, too sweet. But this is going to be lovely as we get into summer and your skin warms up. It changes the way fragrance sits on the skin. And I think this is going to be a firm favourite going forward. Okay, skincare. I have 2 things. The first one is by Beauty Pie, and I'm not going to rattle on now about Beauty Pie because I'm about to film a Beauty Pie video. My eye makeup is the same in both eyes, guys, but because of the way the shadow is, this kind of looks like my eye is twice the size. I don't know what's going on, but you know me, I don't have time today to like keep filming till I get it spot on, so you just have to take the rough with the smooth. Okay, so my first one, and for a favourite, sometimes it's not like the most exciting thing, but you just know you keep going back and back and back. I've got about 6 cleansers at any one time, but this is the one that keeps running out and I keep rebuying. And it is just so plain and simple. I don't really quite know why I love it, but I just love it. It's the Glossier Milky Jelly Cleanser. When I first tried this, I was like, why? But and it is plain and it doesn't really smell like much, but it is really good when you want a simple cleanse in the morning. It smells like, you know when some paper, like you get a library book and the paper smells sweet, like plain smell, but like there's a sweetness. The smell of paper, or dare I say even wet paper. Weird, but in a nice way. I hope you get what I mean. This is just plain in a very comforting, soothing way. If you put it on dry skin and rub it in, it will lift your eye makeup and stuff off. If you put it on wet skin, it's just a light wash. But I love the packaging. It's so kind of Japanesey and Korean-y and plain. And it never, if my skin is a bit sensitive or misbehaving, this is so calm and is not going to make me go red or anything. So yeah, just try it. I always go back to this. This is like my 4th one. And my other skincare favorite is this Fruity Enzyme 5-minute facial. Super smoothing, purifying, resurfacing. This is like a scrub and a kind of wake up your face very quick 3-minute, 5-minute mask for the morning. Now I know a lot of skin experts, especially people like Caroline Hirons, are really anti-physical scrub. And I know there's a problem with micro, what are they called? You know, the little tiny beads going into the water in the sink and then screwing up the environment. But this hasn't got those in, I don't think. So what this does is I wake up in the morning, unless I am in a phase, I'm in a really lazy phase at the minute with my skin and everything and nails. But when I'm in a kind of bit more of a high maintenance and I'm doing like night treatments and remembering to do my retinol, I don't get this so much. But at the moment, if I'm quite lazy with my skin, I wake up in the morning and it looks very, I'm getting older. It looks dull, sallow. I have kind of a bit of a yellowy skin tone around here. And I just a moisturizer and makeup's not going to make me look much better. This kind of thing really wakes up the skin because you're massaging and getting all the blood flowing, you're scrubbing off the dead skin, and you have a real glow. So then you don't need to put as much makeup on, if you get what I mean. And it just makes your skin feel so clean, like not just cleanser clean, but like wipe the slate clean, because it's scrubbing all that. I got really large pores on my nose and like slight texture. It just gets rid of all that. It's really good. I'm not going to go into it now because it will make this video too long, but Beauty Pie is like a subscription where you pay a monthly fee of 10, 20 or 30 pounds, and that opens up an allowance of spend on their site. So you get everything. It's all very high-end stuff, but it's just their own label because they go direct to the labs that all the big high-end houses go to. They have various collections. So they have like the Japan Fusion, they have their Super Retinol. They now, are expanding because they've got more and more clients. They're expanding what they offer. They have luxury candles now and fragrance. So you can get something that's like a set of sheet masks that should be £80. You can get for like 15 or 20 pounds or something like that. So I think it's worth it. There are some downsides, but I would say out of the things I've tried so far, this is my standout favourite. But I do like most of what I've tried. Okay, and then I have 2 more favourites, and then I have a fail and a solution for that fail. This is an old favourite that's come back around. This is a travel size, just so I can take it out with me. This is the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 replenishing primer and setting spray. I love this because it is a 3-in-1. You can use it to prime, you can use it to set, and you can use it when you're looking a bit halfway through the day. Took this to London with me in my handbag on Monday and used it to refresh my face a couple of times. I like the small one because twice now, after having the bigger size pump for a few months, the pump has started to go a bit weird and dribbly. And the whole point of this is that you want that nice fine mist, and this pump is better than the one on the big pump, if you know what I mean. So I know it's not such good value, but I buy the little one and just buy it more often. I also love the primer that is just a primer, but this is great because it's like you can prime and you can set, so you need one product. I'm putting stuff up here to put away. And then my last favourite is this new product from YSL. It looks like the normal Rouge Volupté shines. I'm wearing one of those now. But this is the, oh my lord, why are they so small? This is the Volupté Plump and Colour. So the difference with this one is it is a sheer lip colour, but the heart in the centre is black, and that is the plumping. And I will just add a bit. This is the only kind of neutral one. They're all quite bold colours. This is peachy. And in a minute I'll feel like a tingle, and you do get a definite plumping effect. This is number 1. I can't remember the name of the colour, but it is this kind of something nude or something like that it's called. And the other ones are much more corally, orangey, reds, hot pinks. But this one is great. There you go. It's got like a pepperminty tingle, which I just like. And honestly, they are probably the YSL lip products have got the nicest packaging, haven't they? And then I've got a fail. I would like to start including maybe one fail in favourites just to balance it a bit. I love the brand Pat McGrath, and I was really excited to get this, but I didn't realise when I got it how big and kind of clunky it was. I love highlighters and things like that that can just give you a bit of a glow. And I was also looking for the longest time for a shiny sheer balm so that I could do like a glossy wet eyelid, or just to make, I know it sounds weird, to give you a slight sweaty kind of worn in look to your makeup. So I love Pat McGrath's products. I've tried lots of her lip products, and I've got a couple of eyeshadows, I think. So I heard about this, which is a dual-ended product called Skin Fetish Highlighter and Balm Duo. So on one side, you've got a balm. It's just a regular balm, and it could be glossier, to be honest. It sort of smells general, like a very light caramelly smell. Just makes the skin see slightly shiny. But I reckon, and lots of reviews that I read after I bought this said you could just use like a sheer lip balm. It's probably the same. And the packaging isn't very good. This whole thing here wobbles a lot. So this kind of moves around and pushes up. That's not the worst of it. The other side is your like shimmery highlight stick. Well, when I got it, you can see it's hit the lid. When I got it, it was actually not in this. It was out. It, you know, it just fell straight out. So I mashed it back in and did this to it. But even then, even if it hadn't happened, the product itself, for the price point and the brand being usually very high end, there's the actual highlighter. The highlighter is no better than my £10 or £15 it's not as nice as my Glossier one, the stick that I've got. And when you blend it on the skin, I found it looked very chalky and very patchy here. So I wasn't that happy. And as I said, a couple of times it fell out again. You know, I've pushed it back in and it fell out. And I just thought, you know, I'm not happy with that. So I bought it from Net-a-Porter, and I rang them. I spoke to customer services, and they were very helpful. And this was £50 or £55. And I just said to the guy, look, I'm happy to send it back. He said, don't do that. Just send me photos. And I sent him photos that, because you can see it's all dry as well. Like it's cracked and stuff there before that even happened. Like obviously the product, the form, something's happened to, look, when you put it back in, it just all breaks. So he refunded me. I've got a credit. I've got another credit on my, I've got a couple of credits on my Net-a-Porter account. So I must get round to ordering my Gucci loafers, and then I can get that saving on them. Anyway, so I got a refund on that, and he said just keep it or whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do with it because I'm not going to use it. It's annoying. But I replaced it, and the only reason this isn't in the favourites, but I'm just showing it to you now, is because I haven't used them enough, but I think I am. They are going to be favourites. 2 separate sticks that do the same as those 2 ends of that. So they are called Balm Essential. One is the Sculpting, and that is like a lovely oyster neutral highlight stick, very glossy, very moisturizing, a little bit more shimmer, a little bit of shine. It's just lovely. It's like there, but it looks really good on the skin. It just wakes up this part of your face, and just I think when you're getting a bit older, a bit of shine can just make you look much more youthful. So I really like that. And then this one I'm so excited about, but I haven't tried it that much yet. This is the Balm Essential Transparent. So this is the one that just gives shine and a bit of gloss, which I'm going to put on my eyes, or if I don't want any shimmer, you only can put it there. So you can just play with them. Look at that shine there. Lush. So obviously if you're oily and you fight shine, you're not going to like these, but if you tend to look a bit sallow, a bit dry, then I think these are going to be really good. So, and they're 35 each, so they together are a bit more than that, but that's just so bulky and ridiculous to put in your bag. You could just choose which one of these you want to use and take it. So that's a better bet for me. That's it, guys. That's everything I have to share with you. Oh, except just one brief mention. This is my current book, Little Fires Everywhere. It's my book club book, so I'm trying to read it by the deadline. I'm enjoying it so far. This month I've also finally finished the Lethal White by Robert Galbraith, which is really J.K. Rowling. That is a Cormoran Strike novel. He's a private detective. He's in a team with his sidekick Robin, who he really is in love with, and she's kind of really in love with him. It's just really good. So their own story, and then whatever the case is in each novel, that was the fourth one. I highly recommend that. Again, I've talked about this with a lot of friends, and I'm doing it with this one as well. I tend to often mix Audible or Kindle with a paper copy of a book, and that way Audible with Kindle or Audible with an actual physical book, because that way when I'm cooking, driving, walking the dogs, doing whatever, I can listen, and then I can find the right place in the paper book, and I get through the book quicker. And the more often I'm doing it, the more and more I want to read, and the more I'm still engaged with the story. So that works for me, because I only ever really sit down and read in bed at night, and then I fall asleep, so I don't get through that many pages. I've also read in the last few weeks the After series. Absolute trash, but very compelling. I am a sucker for romance, intense, passionate love, all of that. And I saw a trailer for a movie called After, which is like a kind of young adult romance kind of thing. A bad boy meets a good girl, the whole thing. And then somebody told me, oh my God, there's books. Did you know there's books? And it was like a fan fiction thing on Wattpad, and it became novels. It's not great writing, but it's just really addictive, like the Discovery of Witches trilogy. So I've read like all of those. Loads of sex in there, great fun. And Oh, to Be Young Again. And next I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to read book 4 in the Discovery of Witches. I can't remember the name of it. Something to Time. I can't remember, but it's like carrying on from the Matthew and Diana story into the next generation down. And I've kind of been putting it off because, you know, when something's so delicious that you almost want to save it and read something else. Anyway, that's all I have to share with you in this video. I'm going to be back in a minute with some more. Take care, bye.